Yo, man, we live out here. Formalities out of the way. Follow us and stuff. Go click like, man. This game, man. Whatever, bruh. Somebody, somebody say something they want to say, man.
Oh
I should
man.
have took a nap.
Yeah,
Well,
New coach, baby. New
this
coach.
is what we said it would
New
be.
coach.
So far, I'm just going to read off a few stats here to get us kicked off. Talk
yeah,
about what we said in the pregame. Um, in the pregame, we all kind of agreed. If Bo Nix throws for about 250 and two TDs on less than 30 throws, we've got a shot. So far, he's 14 for 25 for 115 yards. So he's on pace to throw the ball 50 plus times this game.
right.
The entirety of our offense is Seth Williams. Anthony Schwartz has three touches, two receptions for 15 yards. And we are 4 for 11 on third down. So
How many times have we run the ball, Mike?
18 rush attempts.
18 rush attempts, 25 pass attempts. So here's the thing: I don't dislike the strategy of passing the ball the way that they're attempting to pass it. What I hate is it would work if we had a consistency in the way that he's delivering. Like some of them look really great and some of them look terrible, and it's just like why? And then okay, one sequence that I for the life of me cannot understand. 3rd and 2, right? We have the ball 3rd and 2. We run some kind of weird, we're going to fake like we're looking to the sideline, direct snap to Boobie Whitlow, right? Doesn't get anything. Matter of fact, we lose the yard. The very next play, we run the sugar huddle with a freaking wildcat to Boobie.
Yep.
If you're having success with a short passing game, why are neither of those a short pass? Like that's clearly your strategy, and it's actually been open for the majority of the game. There have been very few of those short passes that have actually been contested, right? Like they don't go for a bunch of yards every time, but they're getting 3 to 4 yards consistently. You only need 3. Why are neither of those one of those passing attempts? Somebody explain that to me.
Yeah, but we've been seeing this all year, right? So the little cute fake Bo Nix is confused direct snap to Boobie thing was awful.
Yeah.
And really the difference in the game up until that last drive was just their quarterback had open man and he hit him for a touchdown. Ours had one that had a step and he underthrew him by 2 yards, so he had to come back and adjust and brought the DB back into the play.
Yeah.
He lays that out. We get points on that drive. So like I said, what it really boils down to is this team has let nobody run the ball all year long. And I wasn't surprised that they were going to sell out to stop our run game. But where I'm a little taken back is number one, we haven't really thrown the ball to anybody but Seth Williams.
Right.
Let's just call that what it is. We've been begging for that slant. We've been begging for that slant all year. They started throwing it. Kind of makes it ineffective if you only use one guy on that play.
Right.
And then the inexplicable coaching call at the end. To call the timeout, man, and let them regroup, and then they drive down the field. Fromm is, it's not like he's having the best game of his life, but he's at best, at his worst, he's a game manager.
He's doing what he needs to do, though. He is extending the drives that and the opportunities that has been given to him. If not for some really great defensive back play from Javaris Davis, he'd probably have a better looking game right now. Javaris Davis has been playing this is easily Javaris Davis's best game this year, because to me had been playing kind of disappointing this season, but he's been really great in those short pass opportunities. The touchdown that they had, I put that on Daniel Thomas. For whatever reason, he is the safety on that play, and he's playing shallow. Christian Tutt tries to undercut the route to try to get up underneath it and make a play on the ball, but Daniel Thomas has got to be over the top there, and he absolutely was not for whatever reason. The second touchdown to Harrion, that is just, as a tired defense. Like Gus, like why does he? Okay, so why not go into the half down 7-0? Why is that not acceptable when you have been playing terribly on defense? Somebody explain that one to me as well. He calls a timeout for what?
B will talk to us, man. How you feel? How you feel about this?
I feel like Bill Clark. I really like Bill Clark. I mean,
Bob Stoops.
That's the coach. They said Bob Stoops, but he started at as an XFL coach this coming up season. He's already committed to that. If he wasn't doing that, I would say probably Bob Stoops, because his name had been circulating. But I think they're looking at Bill Clark, maybe Kevin Steele, and those are the options right now, man. That's why I gotta say Bill Clark, Kevin Steele. That's it. That's it. Y'all know where I'm at.
Hold on. We're already talking coaches now.
Yeah,
I am. Y'all got hope. Y'all. I'm gonna let y'all analyze. I'm already at the end of the season, but y'all know where I'm at. New coach.
Yeah. I want to holler at my man Keontae here, who says Gus doesn't really have a mid or deep passing game, which is absolutely true. Everything is short passing. He wants to run and play action, explosive plays. So every time he takes a deep shot, it's a go route, right? Like there's nothing in, even when we're running these short passes, like everybody's running a short route, right? Like there are very few levels concepts that are happening on there. There was the one speed out that we ran to, I think it was Will Hastings got a first down on that. That was a levels concept where you had a guy going deep and they ran the speed out underneath it. But it's just, it's very few and far between that we're actually challenging a defense to play all three levels. They're either looking deep or they're trying to stop something short. And it's not making the defense. Somebody just chatted and said, I'm afraid we might not score at all. And it's looking like that's
it's looking like it.
We're on pace for that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. We would have needed Daniel Carlson to I'm sorry, it's Anders Carlson. I'm sorry. I wish Daniel was back. To kind of keep us in it a little bit. Right now, what I'm saying is I'm just going back to the points that we made pre-broadcast. We can't win a game with Bo Nix throwing the ball 30 plus times. Not without a defensive score. But I want to point out some positives real quick. We played a whole half with one penalty on that pass interference, right? And I thought that was, Caesar was kind of asking for the false starts and the offsides and stuff to kind of go away. They cleaned that up in the bye week, clearly. We looked pretty disciplined on the line. This is a tough defense we're playing. Ike, to your point about Daniel Thomas on that busted coverage, yeah, I do think that's on him. I'm not really that upset about that because
I'm not upset.
Holding Georgia to 0 points is not an expectation, right? Like we knew we were going to have to score points to win. We knew Georgia was going to take some shots. For the most part, I'm super happy with the way this defense has played. As far as I'm concerned, that last touchdown they gave up was on the offense. The first touchdown was on them. This score should have been 7-0.
Nah, I put that last score on Gus, actually. The calling the timeout made absolutely no sense. You gave him way too much time for the hopes of getting a 3-and-out and getting the ball back to do. Okay, so first of all, I don't know where they found this punter, but this dude's leg is ridiculous. Like he is kicking the ball MVP. 60 yards on the fly.
Georgia is doing on special teams what I said we were supposed to do. Win the field position battle, right? And so he's having a heck of a game. And flipping the field.
Yep. And that's exactly what we talked about. We talked about the keys to this being able to actually generate some rush yards so that Bo Nix doesn't have to throw the ball a bunch of times. We can say that's not happening. We talked about being able to control field position, having special teams being a factor. That's not happening. And we talked about not turning the ball over. We're the only team that has turned the ball over so far in this game. So Right now, we have the exact losing strategy that we outlined. Yo, this
All right,
is
so
crazy.
I got a question for all y'all. If not Bill Clark or Kevin Steele, who do y'all want to see as our next coach?
I don't know, man. Like we talked about this a little bit on the other broadcast of why I really was hoping PJ Fleck would stick where he was another year and we could snatch him up. But yeah, like even in the chats, we've got other people saying that they're being on the fence about a new coach. He can't coach the offense. What benefit does he give us? I think I put that up on the screen a minute ago. And Gus can't win the big games like consistently.
Right.
And as my man Ted says, he needs a running QB to make the offense work, which they ran the ball with Knicks a couple of times. Yeah. We know we had one.
Right. Well, his name was Gatewood, and he's not with the program anymore. Going back to Keontez's comment, thank you for that comment, Keontez. We in our previous discussions about this offense, it's something that's been said. Gus's ego is making him try to prove that this offense works without a not just a running quarterback, but a talented ball carrier at quarterback. Right. The only time
and he's doing it because he's losing out on recruiting. I understand he's not getting the top tier recruits at quarterback because they don't feel
no. He's not developing the top tier recruits.
No, I agree. What I'm saying,
he's not getting them. He's not developing.
If you're a guy who can really throw the ball, why do you come to a Gus Malzahn offense when you know that his offense is predicated on turn around and hand the ball off 30, 40 times a game? Why?
Right.
And so he's losing the recruiting battle for some of those top tier guys that would come here, but they're like, yeah, I'm not going to be a turnaround and hand the ball off guy. Or he's going to have to, like you said, swallow his pride and go get a guy who he might not be able to hit the broadside of a barn, but he's the most athletic guy in the country, and he can get us 15 yards a clip just by keeping it.
Right. We had another comment here from 14 Mr. H. He said he's been on the fence, but he thinks he's committed now. New coach. If Gus can't get the offense going, what benefit does he give us?
Coach, baby.
Yeah, so that's two from this coach.
New coach.
Mr. 14H, we hear you. I just think, at the end of the day, this is, one of the NFL execs said it. I think it was the guy for the Browns. He said, Gus is wasting a championship level defense.
If a guy from the Browns is commenting on your ineptitude at football, you are terrible.
Yeah.
He knows ineptitude.
Right.
Anyone knows ineptitude. Right. So he speaks with.
They know about squandering talent. They know about blowing games that you're supposed to win. They know about having quarterbacks underachieve and not be able to consistently hit wide open targets. He is the perfect person to speak on.
He speaks for the masses. Speaks for the masses.
But hey, you know what? Everybody, we need to remember something, and that something is that in the 15 recruiting class, I think it was 2014 and 2015, that Gus Malzahn purposefully did not offer Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was a 3-star recruit. He was a primary running quarterback in high school, and he looked electric on his high school tape, but he looked like a runner. After 2014, Gus Malzahn, as y'all already said, wanted to prove that his everything, put up all the numbers with a passing quarterback, a guy who could not run, a guy who was not mobile, and a guy who was mobile. He's been trying to prove that's obviously not true, or at least it's not true on the level of football that Auburn plays at. So yeah, it could be true in Sunbelt, it could be true in high school, but here, listen, you have to have somebody electric at quarterback, for it to work and work well consistently. Part of the reason we went well in 2017 because he developed. There was a lot of short passes that Gus had never done before. So part of the reason we were successful with Stidham was Chip Lindsey being here. And you can see Gus said, well, maybe all that wasn't bad, so we can keep some of it. But his stubbornness to try to prove that, listen, it can be a throw first and work. Oh, no, it can't. It's on him because he didn't go get the best guy who could run his system. He never has. And now we're in a situation where Why do we keep giving him the benefit of the doubt? We're stuck with him. Well, we're not stuck with him. Hopefully, he's gone after he loses this game.
And he didn't play him. He
Oh, that's
had
true. That's
Gatewood
true.
on the team.
So
And
either way,
Right.
Either way,
to be
he's
clear,
proven.
to be clear, no one's giving Gus the benefit of the doubt. We know what Gus is at this point.
Right.
Yeah, there's no secret about who Gus is.
Right.
I'm just really hoping for this D line who came back and who decided not to make millions this year.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh man.
I'm just looking for those D linemen that we can get some offense going to justify their decision.
Right.
Keontae says here we need a passing game coordinator. Keontae, you can go ahead and just throw that dream in the trash can.
Well, we can know.
Gus is not gonna let that happen. He's got too much ego.
Yeah, to B's point, you'll get a passing coordinator when you get what, B?
A new coach.
New coach, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. I just hope we can keep Steele around.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. I just don't like. It just depends on who they hire. They're gonna have to hire. Like the problem is most of the good head coaches are defensive minded guys, right?
Right.
Because they're guys who will say, "I don't know crap about offense. I'm gonna go hire an offensive guru to run my team,
right,
and I'm gonna handle the defensive side of the ball." Most of the good teams that have good coaches. That's the philosophy. Is I don't know crap about the offensive side of the ball. I don't care. I'm gonna let one of you playmaker guys go out there and do this, and we're just going to make sure the defense is solid. So to keep Kevin Steele means that he's going to have to get a guy that loves defense but is okay with letting a great defensive coordinator. We're going to have to go find Nick Saban again.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, let's we're 17 minutes deep into this, so before we go back into the second half, what do we got to do to win this game? What has to happen in the second half to win this game?
Defensive touchdowns.
Do the opposite of what we did in the first half.
Okay.
They gotta hope Gatewood was still in the state. Go get him and bring him back. Like, look, man, we sorry. You will start for the rest of the season, but since that's not gonna happen, we're not gonna win.
I'm gonna go with Ike because we said it in the pregame. We thought that the defense was going to have to score to help this offense out. I'm gonna say that we need a defense or special teams play here to get us, if not in the end zone, close to it. Right. And then we need this offense to produce one touchdown.
Stop shooting themselves in the foot.
Two or three actually now.
Yeah, we're at the start of the second half here, fellas. So thanks for everybody who jumped in and chimed in to comment. We'll be back post game for everybody's comments and reactions.
All right, y'all. We're out of here. War Eagle.
Yep.
War Eagle.
War Eagle, baby.